Hello children, good morning. Today we are here to discuss Unit 8 floating bodies of ninth class. Within this class, we are going to discuss about one force. That force is called as upward force or upward force acting upon liquids. On liquids, how this particular upward force will be existing. That particular phenomena now we are going to discuss. Whereas upward force is also called as buoyant force. Also we can call it up. What is meant by buoyant force or upward force? It is nothing but what when I am taking an object and I have taken a container. Within that particular container I have taken liquid. Within that particular container, as I am immersing an object within this particular liquid, what happens there itself on this particular object, there will be existing one force. That force is called as what? Upward force, which is known as buoyant force, acting upon object and allowing this particular object to move upward direction. That particular force, that phenomena of experiencing an object, this object is experiencing a force. In liquids, that force is called as nothing but that phenomena of experiencing upward force in liquids is called as buoyancy. It is called as buoyancy, and the force exerting is nothing but what? Upward force or buoyant force. We can call it up that particular one. To do this particular one, what I have taken there? An activity. I have taken a container. Within the particular container, I have added some quantity of water. Then what I am taking? I am taking an object there. I am taking an object and I am immersing that particular object within this particular liquid, within this particular container. Then what happened? When I am immersing this particular object into the container, gravitational pull of the earth, the gravity extended by earth pulls this particular object downward direction. As it is pulling this object downward direction, obviously exactly opposite to this particular gravitational pull of the earth, there will be existing of upward force. Due to acting of this particular upward force in opposite direction, allow the object to be float on the surface of water or partially immersed within the surface of water. Due to balance the gravitational force, gravitational pull of the earth, what happened? The gravitational pull is acting in what direction? Downward direction. Upward force is acting in this direction? Upward direction. Due to having equal and opposite forces in opposite direction, the object starts float on surface of water or partially it will be get immersed in water and floats on the surface of the water. That particular force that allowing the object to be get float on the surface of the water by experiencing one force. That force is called as what? Buoyant force. That force is called as what? Buoyant force, and allowing the object to be get float on the surface of liquid is called as buoyant force or upward force on liquids. It is existing there. This upward force, how it will get existing? Based upon one condition. If gravitational pull is greater than that of upward force, means what? Gravity pull, the gravitational pull from the earth is much more greater. If it is much more greater than that of upward force, what happens there? The body completely immersed in liquid or it will sink into the liquid. It will sink into the liquid. If upward force is greater than that of gravitational force, means what? If upward force acting, buoyant force acting upon the object is greater, then the top, the gravitational pull of the earth, then what happens? The body arises from the liquid upward direction. The body arises from the liquid in upward direction. If the gravitational pull as well as upward force both are acting at equally but in opposite direction, due to acting of equal and opposite direction of the force, what happens? The body floats in on the surface of the water. On the surface of the water, the body floats. That was a phenomena we have to keep in our mind. Next one is what? This buoyant force comes from where? This upward force can we come from where? It's what? It can come from a particular point. Force exerting on this particular object which is placed in a liquid. From where this particular upward force is acting? It is exerting from where the pressure exerted by what? Liquid on object. On this object, there is exerting certain pressure from the liquid. Liquid is exerting some pressure on this particular object. Due to that reason, this buoyant force is coming into existing there itself. And the pressure exerting, how it will be there? It will be vary from top surface as well as bottom surface of the water layer. Pressure if you take at top surface, it will be lesser compared to the pressure exerting at the depth. So what happens? Pressure increases as depth, as the object is immersing. As the object is immersing into the liquid, pressure will be gradually increases. By this we understood clearly that if an object is existing at the bottom of this particular liquid, then this object exerts more pressure. Pressure at the bottom will be greater than the top. Pressure at the top or up, we can give it up. This particular phenomena also we have to keep in our mind to understand about buoyant force. From where this particular buoyant force is exerting there, it is coming into existing from the pressure exerted by liquid on this object. On object, certain pressure is exerting from the liquid, that is nothing but what? Resulting in the form of buoyant force. This buoyant force or upward force exerts whether the objects are floating or sinking into the water or liquid. Whether the object is floating on the surface of liquid or completely immersing into the liquid, they exist. One force, that force is called as buoyant force, we can call it up, or upward force also we can call it up. To explain this particular buoyant force, so mathematics has given a definition. What is the definition is, buoyant force or upward force is directly proportional to the volume of liquid displaced. When an object is placed within a container consisting of a beak, completely filled up to the particular beak level. If I place an object, depending upon the weight of the object, the liquid will be get displaced outside. Collect that liquid in one particular beaker and measure the volume of that particular liquid. Then the buoyant force is nothing but what? It will be directly proportional to the volume of liquid displaced from that particular, when object is immersed within the liquid. This was a definition given by whom there, Sir Archimedes. This is totally about what? Upward force or buoyant force on liquids. Next thing is what? Activity 6. What does this activity 6 gives information? It gives information about what? Observing the upward force in liquid there itself. Observing the upward force. How we can observe this upward force within the liquids. To do this particular material required is what? Container is required, water is required, and one more thing is an plastic bottle is required which is empty. Take a procedure, take a container, fill it with water up to 3/4, fill it with water. After filling with water, take a bottle, fix a cap without adding any water into it. Allow that particular bottle to be throw particular bottle on the surface of water in a container. What happens? We'll observe that the bottle floats on the surface of water. Again, apply certain pressure, apply by our hand, allow that particular object to be get immersed into the liquid. As we are immersing into the liquid, what happened there? Gravitational pull is gradually increasing by applying force from top. Due to that reason, the body starts sinking into the liquid. We have already studied that if body sinks, what does it indicate? Gravitational pull is greater than that of upward force. When gravitational pull is gradually increasing, what happened? Upward force will be not existing, but it will be nearly equal to zero. Means why? As gravitational pull is greater than that of the upward force. So the body sinks into the water. After allowing the body to be get sink to certain level, take out your hand from that particular body. What happens? Altogether, the body which is immersed in liquid rises up. It rises up, it indicates nothing but what? More upward force is acting upon the body on unit area and allows this particular object to be get rise up. It rises up and rises up into the air and then fall on the surface of this particular water and it starts floats. When water applied force is equal to gravitational force, the body starts floats on the surface of that particular liquid. By this we understood clearly that upward force is greater than the gravitational force. Due to that reason, body is floating on surface of water. And we also understood that what? Buoyant force is existing means what? Liquid is exerting one force. What is that force? Upward force or buoyant force. We have seen it up from where it is coming by exerting pressure on this particular object. By exerting pressure at all the levels, what happened there? Buoyant force or upward force is exerting. Due to that reason, one more possibility attained, that is nothing but what? Static pressure of water will be attained by an object. What is meant by static pressure of water? It is nothing but what? Force exerting on unit area of object. If I am taking this is object, its unit area, for example, this is the total area, I can consider it. Force exerting on unit area of an object. Object is called as nothing but what? Static pressure of water. Within the liquid, this particular force is exerting. Therefore, it is called as static pressure of water. By this we have completed. By this we understood clearly that we observed clearly that there will be existing of upward force on object. From where this object upward force is exerting? From liquid it is exerting. By this we have completed our topic called as upward force or buoyant force on liquids and activity 6. Try to analyze this activity, try to see it number of times and gain knowledge on this particular activity. Thank you children.